again to my friends and subscribers. I was asked in a PM by Guzi Mundi to share some of my experience as it relates to his situation coming in as a later rider in his late 40s. Now, first off, that's not my circumstance at all. For those of you that haven't watched some of my older videos, my circumstance starts with I first started riding motorcycles when I was 21, and basically had to be self-taught just because of the fact I could not find anybody. Everybody kept promising me, but I could not find anybody to help teach me about motorcycles. So the first 2 years I rode, I had a lot of close calls. Did things like lock up both tires and skid it and keep it straight successfully enough so that I was able to stop in the shortest distance. And as a matter of fact, one time I stopped probably less than 12 inches from a guy's door that turned in front of me. This was a guy going, he was way ahead of me and turned left into a parking lot, so I wasn't really concerned. But my natural paranoia of knowing what drivers can do, and I'd already been riding, I think, more than 6 months, maybe a year, and so I had that built-in paranoia that saved my bacon that time. He turned left and went quite deep into a parking lot, but then I think I detected something with my hearing that it didn't sound right the way he was accelerating, and in the parking lot off to the right of me, he did a quick U-turn, came around back out into the street, and he was like, I think when I hit the brakes, I bet you he was like maybe a car length and a half. His driver door was like a car length and a half when he popped out in the street. But I was prepared and thinking in a paranoid way, and hit and skidded and kept the bike straight, and he just looked at me with this panic look, didn't move the car or anything. He probably could have even attempted to move the car out of the way, but it was like a deer staring at you with their eyes. He was just looking out his window as I was like right there on him, didn't even know that I was there, probably hadn't seen me even when he turned into the parking lot. I locked it up, and then when my bike was at a full stop, he just hit the gas and took off. I don't know, maybe he thought I was going to get pissed at him. I was still in a state of shock, but I had many incidents like that happen. So because they happened the way they did the first 2 years at least that I was learning, they happened quite often where people would do unexpected stuff, and I would really cut it close. So I built up some pretty quick reflexes because of that, but they were also developed at a young age, so now I rely on them a lot. And I don't know if I was to start at my age right now. I know on a lot of things that I don't do often, my reflexes and a lot of things, just because of my age, don't operate as fast as they used to. So it could be a very dangerous situation if I encountered the same kind of things over the next 2 years that I encountered then, which I really have. And I'd say, and it's kind of strange too, because there's more traffic and maybe overall more things happen to where I have to react, but they're not like super close calls like they used to be, at least not so many of them. There's a few, which every one of you that ride motorcycles, you have your stories about stuff like that. But I would say starting right now in your late 40s, early 50s, be cautious to the extreme about everything. Give everybody as much leeway as you possibly can. Choose your times to ride, maybe when there's less traffic out, so there's less chance of running into those kind of circumstances, because it may take quite a while, and it may not even be possible to build up the kind of quick reflexes to give you that extra 10-20% edge. But still, basically, safety is it's all about the odds. I mean, there could have been circumstances to where somebody pulled in front of me just so quickly that there was no chance, even with my best of reflexes, I couldn't have done anything about it, and I'd have been splat or sliding down the road or something like that. So I think, like I've said before in my videos, I think 80% of it is training, making good decisions, doing things right. The other 20%, you just got to rely on luck, really. I mean, that has a lot to do with it. The other thing I would say too is don't try to impress anybody. If you don't feel capable, if you feel a little sluggish, a little tired, didn't get enough sleep, don't take the motorcycle. I mean, I make that decision quite often. There have been I think there was one incident even last week where I kind of wanted to ride the motorcycle, but I knew I hadn't gotten enough sleep and I wouldn't be as alert as I possibly could, and I just made the mature decision not to take the motorcycle because it's not worth getting hurt. Just, you know, it's better to miss one ride. I mean, I can miss one half-hour, 45-minute ride or whatever, or even a day-long ride, to not end up hurting myself or getting anybody else hurt. It's not worth it. When you reach my age, and hopefully even when you're in your 30s, you don't need to really worry about impressing people. Just worry about doing what's safe for you. That's really about the best advice I can give you, is worry about what's safe for you. Now, if you want to watch somebody's videos that I would recommend that has started out later and is learning and talks about his learning experience, especially if you go back and watch some of his older videos, that would be Smyrna Cowboy. I have actually, when people have PM'd me and asked me about somebody that would be making videos my style, I got a PM from a non-biker, and they said, I would like to subscribe to somebody else that's kind of like your style, but something kind of similar. And I think the best one I could suggest right now is Smyrna Cowboy. There's a few others too, but he just came to mind as one of the first ones. He started riding a little later in life, and he's got kind of like an easygoing attitude, which you develop with age too. You don't let as much bother you. Although that was kind of funny, I noticed when he went to his, when he was talking in his video about getting together for that motorcycle rally and meeting, I think it was Ike and, oh, who else was he meeting? Well, anyway, when he went to that, he was kind of nervous about meeting new people and stuff like that, so. But that's another sign of caring about other people and caring about their feelings too. As a matter of fact, when the person PM'd me and asked me about the person, I said, oh, just look at my friends list, and he wasn't in my friends list, and I kind of think I accidentally unfriended Smyrna Cowboy, and when I noticed the mistake, I can click the wrong things off, and when I noticed the mistake, I refriended him again. I think it was him I unfriended anyway. He didn't say anything or send a PM to me or comment about it, so either I didn't really do it, or I was mistaken, or he was just being a gentleman enough about it to not call me on it. But if I did do it, it was totally by mistake. I do that often, so if anybody all of a sudden is unfriended or something happens, my I don't know, I got a twitchy finger on the mouse or something like that, that I have accidentally done stuff like that. Or I think one time on one account somebody made a comment and I was going to reply to it, and I hit delete or something and deleted their comment, but fortunately I was able to recover it. Just my big paw is flexing on me sometimes. Anyway, I'm almost home, so take care, guys. Hope you have a nice rest of the day.